In this episode, we talk about transitioning from general fitness training program to being a competitor. All right, the question is from Garrett McCarthy. How should someone start the transition from just doing the daily WOD to competition training? Should you get online programming or seek programming from a coach at your box? It's kind of a complicated question because I think it highly depends on how competitive you'd like to be and what the experience level of the coaches in your box is with regards to competition. So different boxes have different training philosophies and different ideologies because I guess they all get together around the CrossFit brand and the CrossFit methods and doing workouts with the stopwatch. But there are some gyms that are focused on general health and fitness, some that are focused on the development of competitors for the CrossFit Games. There are some that have both of those options and have a competitors program and just a general fitness program. So I think whether or not you're going to seek in-person coaching from the coaches at your box is dependent upon whether or not you personally have had a conversation with them and they have experience at the level that you want to get to. So if you want to get to a CrossFit Games level and your box is skewed towards general fitness for middle-aged people that just want to be a little bit more fit, then they might not want to take that project on and they might not have the experience to help you get to the next level that you want to go to. Conversely, if you're at a gym that has a bunch of competitors and has put people at the CrossFit Games and at regionals and sends people to competitions, then it might make sense to go to an in-person coach and ask if they can help you leverage their experience to get better. It also depends upon whether or not the things you need to get better at are the bigger, like, structural layout of your week type training questions. Like, how often should I be adding things? If I'm doing an AM and a PM, what goes into those two sessions versus, okay, I'm doing this WOD that comes with my class and then adding some extra technical stuff? Or do you need actual technical development work? So, okay, I want to be a competitor and I need to get better at snatch, muscle up, and handstand walk because those are my three biggest weaknesses from a competitive standpoint. Doing remote coaching to get better at some of those technical things is a much more slow and deliberate process because you have to go through a training cycle to work on whatever fundamental movement issues you have. You have to submit videos. Your coach has to analyze the video and send it back to you. So that turnaround process is a little bit more slow and requires patience to be able to develop long-term versus if I'm working with somebody here in person and they're doing something and I'm like, oh, this isn't technically right, tighten this up, and I can make instantaneous feedback. So in-person developmental coaching is generally far superior to remote coaching from a technical standpoint. But from a structural layout perspective or from understanding, all right, when are you going to compete? How often are you going to compete? How are you going to evaluate yourself when you're competing? So you do a qualifier, you don't achieve what you want to. How do you go through the review process to understand how you get better from competition to competition? That type of stuff requires you to have some sort of fundamental experience going through the process of developing competitors. So I think all of that being said, if I were to just simplify it down, if you're looking for technical development work only, then going in person would be superior to remote. If you're looking for a way to lay out your training at the highest level so you can continue to develop, then some sort of an online program or a remote coaching business that has experience getting people to the level that you want to get. And then if it's a combination of both of those, you might be able to distribute your time between the two, but make sure that whatever coaching route you take, the people that you have supporting you and working for you to get you better have experience with the training level that you're trying to aspire to. If they don't, then it's kind of a blind leading the blind situation, which doesn't necessarily always turn out poorly, but it might make sense if you're trying to go through the process and really commit yourself to dedicate the work that you're putting in and knowing that, okay, this is being written by somebody that has experience at the level that I'm trying to get to, so I can put a little bit more trust and faith into it. So hopefully that helps if you're trying to make the transition from going from just general classes to being a competitor. Oh yeah, this t-shirt is now live on the site. Effort and choice on the back. Can you see the back? Nope. Damn it. It says effort is a choice on the back, TTT on the front, TTT on the sleeve. On the website, trainingthinktank.com. Yeah, and if this is a future, then hopefully we have other shirts up, but it won't be this one. When I created Training Think Tank, I wanted it to be just that, a think tank, a group of people that gets together and challenges each other's ideas on training. So what you watch in this video is one coach's beliefs. The other coaches and myself may or may not agree with what was said, but we're okay with that because we want to facilitate a discussion about training in the market.